Romans 15 verse 20, Paul said that I always strive to preach the gospel, to preach Christ, mainly in places where Christ has not been preached. But today we evangelists and preachers and apostles want to preach the gospel to people who have already accepted, neglecting those people who have not accepted. We want to preach the gospel to people who are going to welcome us easily than preaching to the people who are not going to welcome us easily. We want to preach the gospel with ease, with simplicity. But this is not the heart of apostles. The Bible says that they always wanted to preach the gospel to places where Christ has not been preached. There are many places in Uganda, there are many places in East Africa, there are many places in Africa where Christ has not been preached. And it is our role as evangelists and apostles to preach the gospel, to preach Christ to people in those places. Think of slum areas. Think of ghetto where every person fears to go. Whenever you talk about ghetto, people think you are talking about thieves. Whenever we talk about ghetto, people think you are talking about kidnappers. We are talking about disorganized people. But this is just a mentality that we need to change. And the only thing that can change that, the only thing that can change that report is the good news about the cross. The way Jesus found the apostles is not the way he left them. They were transformed. Their minds had been renewed. And when the Bible says in Romans 12 that we renew our mind, the only way we can renew our minds is by accepting the good news. The good news has the power to renew the minds of people. So if you want to renew the minds of people, we need to preach the gospel to those people. That's why I encourage evangelists, I encourage apostles to go and preach the gospel in places where the gospel has not been preached.